I am literally screaming at my screen right now because what we just witnessed is hands down the most mind-blowing, heart-stopping twist of the entire year. I mean, seriously, guys, did anyone else have their heart in their throat when Josslyn stood tall against Jens? If you ask me, we are witnessing the birth of a brand new action heroine in Port Charles, and I am absolutely 100% here for it. We all know Josslyn has that fierce, fiery blood running through her veins thanks to Carly and her dad, but seeing her locked in a deadly game of cat and mouse with a literal monster like Jen's was next level television. My mind is completely blown by how fast this storyline just kicked into overdrive. And I swear I can barely catch my breath while writing this. The sheer terror of Josslyn being dragged down into the damp, dark, secret cells of that terrifying underground complex had me biting my nails down to the quick. We knew she was in danger, but finding out she was thrown right into the belly of the beast because she uncovered too many secrets about that highly classified, dangerously weaponized cold fusion project. Talk about high stakes. And oh my God, guys, the absolute shock of Josslyn finding Liesl down there. I let out a literal gasp when she stumbled upon Liesl, who has been missing in action and kept in the shadows for what feels like an eternity. To see these two very different, incredibly strong women locked up in the same cold, stone cell was a stroke of absolute genius by the writers. We all know Liesl has been through absolute hell, especially after losing Britt, and seeing her looking weak but still possessing that sharp, scientific mind of hers was incredibly emotional. Jens is a complete and utter psychopath, and his sick plan to force Liesl to finalize the weapon prototype by using Josslyn as a human shield is just pure evil. He thought he could break them. He thought he could use a young girl's life to force a grieving mother and brilliant scientist to hand over a weapon of mass destruction. But oh, how deliciously wrong he was. Jens completely underestimated the sheer willpower of a girl raised by Carly, and that was his first and most fatal mistake. Can we talk about how incredibly smart Josslyn was during her captivity? If you ask me, this is the exact kind of character growth we have been begging to see. Instead of just crying in a corner and waiting for a man to rescue her, Josslyn immediately switched into survival mode. She did not panic well, maybe a little, but who wouldn't? And instead, she kept her eyes wide open. She memorized the guards' patrol schedules, she mapped out the security routes in her head, and she waited for the perfect split-second opportunity to swipe an electronic access card right from under their noses. That took serious, unmatched bravery, guys. I was screaming at my TV, shouting, "Don't get caught! Don't look back!" It was the kind of tension that makes daytime television so addicting, and I was completely glued to the screen as she slipped that card into her pocket. She is proving she has the brains, the grit, and the instinct to survive anything, and I am loving every single second of this transformation. And the collaboration between Josslyn and Liesl, absolute poetry. We have the youthful energy and physical agility of Josslyn paired with the brilliant, calculating, scientific mind of Liesl. It is the ultimate dream team partnership we never knew we needed. Liesl knew exactly how the castle's complex security grid functioned, explaining the scientific principles of the backup generators and the weak points in the grid to Josslyn. Together, they plotted a masterful escape plan that felt like a high-budget action movie. When Josslyn finally triggered that localized power outage and the lights flickered out, plunging the entire underground lair into pitch-black darkness, my heart was beating at 1,000,000 miles an hour. The sirens started blaring, the red emergency lights began flashing, and the sheer chaos of the guards scrambling to find out what happened was pure art. Josslyn did not hesitate for a single second. She swiped that card, the heavy cell door clicked open, and she immediately rushed to drag Liesl out of her cell. They were finally free, but the nightmare was only just beginning. I was holding my breath as they navigated those narrow, claustrophobic, winding stone tunnels beneath the compound, with Jens's armed guards hot on their heels. You could hear the heavy boots echoing, the shouting of the mercenaries, and the beam of their flashlights cutting through the damp darkness. It was a race against time, and every single corner they turned felt like a potential death trap. But Liesl, being the absolute badass queen that she is, did not just run for her life. She made sure to take down the bad guys with her. Before they made their final break for the exit, Liesl managed to copy the highly classified data, proving that the Cold Fusion Project was actually a secret illegal weapons program. Yes, she got the receipts, guys. This is the smoking gun that can destroy Jens, Ross, and their entire corrupt circle once and for all. It is the ultimate leverage, but it also paints a massive glowing target on both of their backs because Jens will stop at absolutely nothing to get those files back. When Jens discovered his prized prisoners had vanished into thin air, his explosion of rage was terrifyingly magnificent. He is a man who is used to absolute control, and having a young girl and an older woman outsmart his entire security team is the ultimate blow to his massive ego. He has now launched a massive, ruthless manhunt, ordering his men to shoot, to kill if necessary. They cannot let Josslyn and Liesl reach Port Charles. They cannot let that data see the light of day. Meanwhile, our girls are out in the wild, cold, wet, and exhausted, trying desperately to find a way to contact their allies back home. Who will they call first? Will they try to reach Carly, who will undoubtedly go into full-blown mama bear mode and tear the world apart to find them? Or will they reach out to Sonny, who has his own dangerous history with Jens and the muscle to protect them? Or maybe they will find a way to get a message to Spinelli to help encrypt and upload that stolen data before Jens's men can trace them? And let's not forget how this entire situation connects back to the chaotic web of lies currently spinning in Port Charles. We have Jack resting at Turning Woods, completely vulnerable and facing death threats from Ross over the missing black box codes. And then we have Nina, who is playing a highly dangerous, emotionally charged game of her own after saving Jack's life. If you ask me, all of these storylines are colliding into one massive, explosive train wreck, and I am utterly obsessed. The tension is building to an absolute boiling point, and the writers are pushing us to the edge of our seats. Will Josslyn and Liesl make it back to safety, or will Jens's ruthless mercenaries corner them in the woods before they can expose the truth? Can Carly and Sonny find them in time, or are we about to witness a tragic showdown that will change the canvas of Port Charles forever? I am literally begging the writers for answers right now. What do you guys think? Are you as obsessed with this high-stakes escape as I am? Let me know your wildest theories because I am losing my mind waiting for the next episode. If you ask me, the real heart of this entire nightmare isn't just the survival game. It's the absolute emotional devastation this is going to unleash on our favorite couples. Guys, can we please talk about Dex for a hot second? Because I know for a fact that the moment Dex finds out his girl is running for her life in those freezing woods, he is going to absolutely lose his mind. We've seen how protective Dex is, but this is going to push him right over the edge. I am predicting a reckless, highly emotional rescue mission where Dex defies every single rule, every chain of command, and every ounce of common sense just to get to Josslyn. And let's be real, the reunion between those two is going to be pure, unadulterated fire. There is nothing like a near-death experience to make a couple realize they cannot live without each other. And if you ask me, this is the exact spark their relationship needs to solidify them as the next great super couple of Port Charles. But wait, it gets even messier when we look at the bigger picture. We have Carly, who is already wound tighter than a piano string. When she realizes Josslyn is in Jens's crosshairs, who is she going to lean on? You know, she'll try to be the strong, independent force she always is. But we all know that when Carly's kids are in danger, all roads lead back to Sonny. I can already see the intense, tear-filled confrontations, the shared panic, and the undeniable magnetic pull that always drags these two back together during a family crisis. Are we about to see a massive shift in their current dynamic? I think so. It is the classic formula that makes us love them. And quite frankly, our hearts cannot take the anticipation of another Jarly reunion under such extreme circumstances. And oh my God, guys, what about Nina? She is already playing with fire at Turning Woods, and now she is keeping secrets that could blow her entire world apart. Saving Jack was a massive power move, but her complex feelings for Drew and her lingering connection to Sunny are creating a recipe for absolute disaster. If you ask me, Nina is setting herself up for the ultimate heartbreak, or the ultimate triumph. There is no in between with her. If Drew finds out she's been playing hero while he's dealing with his own chaotic schemes, the fallout is going to be legendary. We are talking about secrets, betrayal, and high voltage passion that will leave everyone breathless. So where does this leave us? We have Josslyn and Liesl running for their lives with the most dangerous data in the world, Dex on a warpath to save his soulmate, and Carly and Sunny standing on the precipice of a massive emotional reunion. If you ask me, the writers are cooking up the perfect storm of romance, danger, and sheer soap opera perfection. Will Dex find Josslyn before Jens's men do? Or will we be left sobbing into our popcorn as a tragic twist tears them apart? I don't know about you, but I will be glued to my screen, screaming at every single commercial break. What are your thoughts, guys? Are you shipping Dex and Josslyn harder than ever after this? Let's discuss, because the suspense is literally killing me.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.